You will hear of wars and rumors of wars, but see to it that you are not alarmed. Such things must happen, but the end is still to come. Nation will rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom. There will be famines and earthquakes in various places. All these are the beginning of birth pains. As 2024 progresses, it's clear that the era of ease has ended, ushering in a potentially precarious future. We are experiencing tumultuous times for humanity, continually observing global occurrences of war and famine. Numerous world events have been unfolding, seemingly aligning with prophecies forecasted to occur in 2024. The period has arrived for as told in Matthews. Are we on the brink of seeing these ancient predictions come to pass? Could 2024 be the year that changes everything? Join us in this video as we uncover all the secrets about biblical prophecies for 2024 that will astonish the world. Tensions have escalated to a critical point. Furthermore, the conflict signifies a major change in the country's strategic mindset and approach to handling its long-term regional adversaries. The air raid sirens, resounding across different areas, from northern and southern Israel to the northern West Bank and the Dead Sea, have reignited fears of a more extensive conflict. Now, let's examine some prophecies to see how they predict the next global war and whether it relates to the intricate relationship between nations. The blind psychic Baba Vanga, who is believed to have accurately foreseen the American nightmare as well as the COVID-19 pandemic, also made a chilling prediction for 2024. For this year, the mystic predicted numerous ominous events, including biological attacks, natural disasters in Europe, and catastrophic upheaval, which some find eerily plausible as tensions in the Middle East. Additionally, for many years, the Simpsons have amazed the world with their predictions that came true. Once again, as the year 2024 nears, along with unfolding global events, there are subtle signs that almost align with the Simpsons' predictions. On November 22, 1987, a special episode of The Simpsons aired on The Tracy Ullman Show. Though it was quite humorous, there might be a hidden message within. The episode focuses on Homer Simpson repeatedly pranking his family with World War III scares numerous times. Let's also consider episode 17 of the show's 23rd season. In this episode, there is a scene where Homer loses his job because his employer replaced all human employees with robots. Given the advancements in military technology and the development of artificial intelligence, is the future where AI replaces humans in performing terrible actions drawing near? Thus, Homer Simpson waking up his family members and urging them to quickly run to the shelter due to the impending World War III is also a theory worth contemplating. But first, let's set the stage. In recent years, we've seen unprecedented events, from natural disasters to escalating international conflicts. While some might see these as random occurrences, others view them through the lens of biblical prophecy, believing that these events were foretold long ago. Imagine waking up one morning to find that the world as you know it has drastically changed. The headlines are filled with news of wars, natural disasters, and economic turmoil. In the midst of this chaos, you remember the prophecies you've read in the Bible. Words written thousands of years ago that seem to describe exactly what is happening now. It's a chilling thought, but one that many people are grappling with today. How do the predictions of Nostradamus and other mystics align with what's happening today? Are we truly living in the end times, as described in the Bible? And most importantly, what should we do to prepare for these turbulent times? To understand the significance of these prophecies, we need to look at the current state of the world. Wars and conflicts are raging in various parts of the globe, with the Middle East being a particularly volatile region. Natural disasters, such as earthquakes, famines, and plagues, are becoming more frequent and severe. Economies are struggling, and political tensions are at an all-time high. For Christians, these events are not just random occurrences, they are signs of the times. The Bible has long warned of a period of great tribulation that will precede the return of Jesus Christ. This period, often referred to as the end times, will be marked by widespread suffering and upheaval. But it will also be a time of great spiritual awakening and revival, as people turn to God in their desperation. As 2024 unfolds, the world is witnessing an unprecedented cascade of events. These events are not isolated incidents, but part of a larger, more troubling pattern that spans the globe. War and famine have become common headlines, and the sheer frequency of natural disasters has left many wondering if these are mere coincidences or signs of something more significant. The global situation has grown increasingly volatile, with many pointing to ancient prophecies that seem to predict these very times. Throughout history, war and famine have often gone hand in hand, and 2024 is no exception. Conflicts are erupting in various regions, causing widespread displacement and food shortages. The escalating tensions between nations, and the persistent conflicts all around the world are just a few examples of the turmoil that is contributing to global instability. Famine is a devastating consequence of these conflicts. The war-torn regions are facing severe food shortages, and the ripple effects are being felt worldwide. Global supply chains are disrupted, leading to skyrocketing food prices and scarcity of essential goods. The World Food Program has warned that millions are at risk of starvation if the situation does not improve. The human cost of these events is staggering. Millions of people are being displaced from their homes, forced to flee from violence and seek refuge in neighboring countries. The refugee crisis is straining resources and creating additional political and social tensions. Families are being torn apart, children are losing their education, and entire communities are being uprooted. He called down famine on the land and destroyed all their supplies of food, and he sent a man before them, Joseph, sold as a slave. Psalm 105, 16, 21. The psychological impact is equally profound. The constant barrage of negative news and the uncertainty of what lies ahead are taking a toll on people's mental health. Anxiety and depression are on the rise, as individuals struggle to cope with the stress and fear that come with living in such unpredictable times. Many believe that these events are the fulfillment of prophecies found in the Bible and other ancient texts. According to these prophecies, the end times will be marked by widespread suffering and chaos. Another pertinent prophecy is found in the book of Revelation. Revelation 13:5-7 describes a powerful leader who wields great influence and faces significant opposition. The beast was given a mouth to utter proud words and blasphemies, and to exercise its authority for 42 months. It opened its mouth to blaspheme God, and to slander his name and his dwelling place and those who live in heaven. It was given power to wage war against God's holy people and to conquer them. While the figure described in Revelation is often interpreted in an eschatological context, the imagery of a polarizing leader who speaks boldly and faces fierce resistance has parallels to Trump's tenure. The stark division and intense reactions to Trump's leadership echo the biblical portrayal of a contentious figure. The prophecy of the end times in Matthew 24:6-8 also provides an interesting lens through which to view Casey's predictions. This passage reads, "You will hear of wars and rumors of wars, but see to it that you are not alarmed. Such things must happen, but the end is still to come. Nation will rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom. There will be famines and earthquakes in various places. All these are the beginning of birth pains." The themes of conflict, upheaval, and significant change align with the periods of turmoil that both Casey and biblical prophets foresaw. Trump's presidency, marked by contentious international relations and domestic strife, fits into this broader narrative of a world in flux. Furthermore, the prophecy of the man of sin in 2 Thessalonians 2:3-4 is often cited in discussions of modern leaders. It reads, "Don't let anyone deceive you in any way, for that day will not come until the rebellion occurs and the man of sin is revealed, the man doomed to destruction. He will oppose and will exalt himself over everything that is called God or is worshipped, so that he sets himself up in God's temple, proclaiming himself to be God." While this passage is typically associated with the Antichrist in Christian eschatology, the characteristics of opposition, self-exaltation, and rebellion can be seen in various controversial leaders throughout history. Some interpret Trump's actions and rhetoric as aligning with these traits, though such interpretations are highly subjective and contentious. Casey's predictions also emphasize a period of spiritual awakening and transformation, a theme echoed in biblical prophecies. In Joel 2:28-29, it is written, "And afterward I will pour out my Spirit on all people. Your sons and daughters will prophesy. Your old men will dream dreams. Your young men will see visions. Even on my servants, both men and women, I will pour out my Spirit in those days." This vision of a widespread spiritual revival aligns with Casey's belief in a higher consciousness and the interconnectedness of humanity. The idea that Trump's era could be a catalyst for such an awakening adds a hopeful dimension to these predictions. Another aspect of biblical prophecy that resonates with Casey's visions is the role of a leader in bringing about significant societal change. Isaiah 45:1-3 speaks of Cyrus, a historical figure used by God to fulfill divine purposes. "This is what the Lord says to his anointed, to Cyrus, whose right hand I take hold of to subdue nations before him, and to strip kings of their armor, to open doors before him so that gates will not be shut. I will go before you and will level the mountains. I will break down gates of bronze and cut through bars of iron. I will give you hidden treasures, riches stored in secret places, so that you may know that I am the Lord, the God of Israel, who summons you by name." Some see Trump in a similar light, as a leader who, despite his flaws and controversies, may be used to achieve a greater purpose. Moreover, the notion of a chosen one, or an anointed leader, is a common theme in both biblical and Casey's prophecies. The parallels between the biblical figure of King David and modern leaders like Trump are often drawn by those who believe in the divine selection of leaders. David, despite his imperfections, was chosen by God to lead Israel and accomplish significant feats. Similarly, some interpret Trump's unconventional rise and his impact on global politics as part of a divine plan. However, it's crucial to approach these comparisons with caution. Prophecies are inherently open to interpretation, and the context in which they were written differs significantly from today's world. While the parallels can be striking, they can also be subjective and influenced by personal beliefs and biases. The danger of confirmation bias, seeing what we want to see in prophecies, must be acknowledged. As we delve deeper into Edgar Casey's predictions, it's essential to recognize both his successes and his failures. While many of his predictions were remarkably accurate, some did not come to pass. For instance, Casey predicted the return of Jesus by the year 2000, a prophecy that has yet to be fulfilled. Despite these discrepancies, Casey's legacy as a prophet and healer remains influential and inspiring. Some say that no one will be expecting the rapture when it occurs. They say that it could happen at any time. Like a thief in the night is not expected, they say that Christ will come at an unexpected time. But Jesus said that his people would know the season of time, but not the exact day or hour. No one knows about that day or hour, not even the angels in heaven. Matthew 24:36. The context of not knowing the day nor the hour, though, comes right after Jesus told us that we would know the season. He said, "Now, learn this lesson from the fig tree. As soon as its twigs get tender and its leaves come out, you know that summer is near. Even so, when you see all these things, you know that it is near, right at the door. Truly I tell you, this generation will certainly not pass away until all these things have happened. Heaven and earth will pass away, but my words will never pass away. But about that day or hour no one knows, not even the angels in heaven, nor the Son, but only the Father." Matthew 24:32-36. We all want good things to happen in our lives, but too often we want it now, not later. When it doesn't happen that way, we are tempted to ask, "When, God, when?" Most of us need to grow in the area of trusting God instead of focusing on the when question. If you're missing joy and peace, you're not trusting God. If your mind feels worn out all the time, you're not trusting God. The tendency to want to know about everything that's going on can be detrimental to your Christian walk. Sometimes knowing everything can be uncomfortable and can even hurt you. I spent a large part of my life being impatient, frustrated, and disappointed because there were things I didn't know. God had to teach me to leave things alone and quit feeling that I needed to know everything. I finally learned to trust the one who knows all things and accept that some questions may never be answered. We prove that we trust God when we refuse to worry. God wants us to live by discernment, revelation knowledge, not head knowledge. It's difficult to exercise discernment if you're always trying to figure everything out. But when you're willing to say, God, I can't figure this out, so I'm going to trust you to give me revelation that will set me free, then you can be comfortable in spite of not knowing. Trusting God often requires not knowing how God is going to accomplish what needs to be done and not knowing when He will do it. We often say God is never late, but generally, He isn't early either. Why? Because He uses times of waiting to stretch our faith in Him and to bring about change and growth in our lives. The turmoil in the world serves as a reminder of the urgency of these spiritual disciplines. In the face of global instability, Christians are called to be beacons of hope and strength. Philippians 4:6-7 advises, "Do not be anxious about anything, but in every situation, by prayer and petition, with thanksgiving, present your requests to God, and the peace of God, which transcends all understanding, will guard your hearts and your minds in Christ Jesus." This peace is a powerful testimony to the world. As Christians navigate the challenges of 2024, their faith and hope can inspire others and point them towards the ultimate source of comfort and security. The Bible promises that those who trust in God will find refuge in Him, no matter how chaotic the world becomes. Given the current global situation and the prophecies that seem to be unfolding, it is crucial for Christians to prepare both spiritually and practically. Spiritually, this means deepening one's relationship with God, engaging in regular prayer and Bible study, and staying connected with the Christian community. Practically, it involves being aware of the signs of the times and making prudent decisions to ensure the safety and well-being of oneself and one's family. This could include having emergency plans in place, staying informed about global events, and being ready to assist those in need. As we have seen, the impact of the current events and prophecies on Christians is profound. They serve as a reminder of the importance of faith, vigilance, and preparation. The world is facing unprecedented environmental challenges. Climate change, natural disasters, and extreme weather phenomena are becoming more frequent and severe. These events are not only alarming from a scientific perspective, but also resonate with biblical prophecies. As greenhouse gases accumulate in the atmosphere, they trap heat, causing global temperatures to rise. This warming effect disrupts weather patterns, leading to more severe storms, prolonged droughts, and increased wildfire activity. The Bible does not specifically mention global warming, but it does speak of the earth undergoing severe tribulations. Revelation 16:8-9 says, "The fourth angel poured out his bowl on the sun, and the sun was allowed to scorch people with fire. They were seared by the intense heat, and they cursed the name of God, who had control over these plagues, but they refused to repent and glorify Him." This imagery of the sun scorching the earth is strikingly similar to the effects of global warming. The future outlook for climate change is dire unless significant action is taken to reduce greenhouse gas emissions and mitigate its effects. Scientists warn that if current trends continue, we will see even more extreme weather events, rising sea levels, and widespread ecological disruptions. This scenario aligns with the biblical vision of a world undergoing great tribulation before the end times. For Christians, the increasing environmental crises serve as a call to stewardship and action. The Bible teaches that humans are caretakers of God's creation, and it is our responsibility to protect and preserve the earth. Genesis 2:15 states, "The Lord God took the man and put him in the Garden of Eden to work it and take care of it." Addressing climate change is not just about preventing environmental disaster, but also about fulfilling our biblical mandate to care for God's creation. This involves advocating for sustainable practices, supporting policies that reduce carbon emissions, and making lifestyle changes that lessen our environmental impact. Nostradamus, the 16th century French astrologer and physician, is renowned for his cryptic yet compelling predictions about the future. His quatrains have been interpreted to forecast numerous global events, including natural disasters and climatic changes. Several of his verses are believed to describe extreme weather patterns, earthquakes, floods, and other calamities that align with our modern understanding of climate change. For instance, Nostradamus wrote about a great flood and fires from the sky, which some interpret as references to rising sea levels and increased wildfires, phenomena currently exacerbated by global warming. His predictions also mention earth-shaking in various parts of the world, possibly alluding to the increasing frequency and intensity of earthquakes, which could be linked to climatic shifts and human activities such as fracking. While Nostradamus's writings are often vague and open to interpretation, they resonate with contemporary concerns about environmental degradation and the impact of human activity on the planet. His visions of natural upheaval mirror the dire warnings issued by modern scientists and environmentalists, suggesting a future marked by significant ecological challenges. Biblical prophecies, like those found in the books of Revelation and Isaiah, also speak of natural disasters and apocalyptic scenarios that have intrigued theologians and believers for centuries. These texts describe events such as catastrophic earthquakes, widespread famine, and dramatic shifts in weather patterns, events that are eerily similar to current predictions about the effects of climate change. For example, the book of Revelation mentions hail and fire mixed with blood, Revelation 8:7, and a great earthquake, Revelation 6:12, which can be interpreted as symbolic of natural disasters intensified by global warming. The prophecies of Isaiah speak of the earth reeling like a drunkard and being split asunder, Isaiah 24:19-20, echoing modern fears of seismic activity and environmental collapse. These correlations between ancient prophecies and contemporary climate science highlight the universal and timeless nature of humanity's concern for the environment. They suggest that the existential threats posed by climate change are not only scientifically significant, but also deeply rooted in human consciousness and spiritual traditions. The future outlook for climate change and natural disasters is sobering. Scientific consensus indicates that if current trends continue, the world will experience more frequent and severe weather events, including hurricanes, droughts, floods, and heat waves. The melting of polar ice caps and glaciers will contribute to rising sea levels, threatening coastal communities and ecosystems. Increased atmospheric temperatures will exacerbate the incidence of wildfires, disrupt agricultural production, and impact water supplies. Moreover, the interconnected nature of global ecosystems means that these changes will have cascading effects. For instance, the loss of biodiversity due to habitat destruction and climate shifts will affect food security and human health. The displacement of populations due to rising sea levels and extreme weather events will create climate refugees, leading to social and political tensions. Mitigating these impacts requires urgent and concerted action at all levels of society. Governments, businesses, and individuals must work together to reduce greenhouse gas emissions, transition to renewable energy sources, and implement sustainable practices. Policies aimed at protecting and restoring natural habitats, improving disaster preparedness, and supporting vulnerable communities are crucial for building resilience against future climate shocks. Despite the grim outlook, there is hope. Advances in technology and increasing global awareness provide opportunities for meaningful change. The growth of the green economy, innovations in clean energy, and international agreements such as the Paris Climate Accord represent positive steps towards addressing the climate crisis. Nostradamus's and biblical prophecies serve as poignant reminders of the enduring human concerns about natural disasters and environmental sustainability. While their predictions are shrouded in mystery and symbolism, they underscore the urgent need to address the very real and present dangers posed by climate change. The future is not set in stone, and proactive efforts to mitigate climate impacts can alter the trajectory. By embracing sustainability, fostering innovation, and building resilience, humanity can navigate the challenges ahead and work towards a more stable and sustainable world. The lessons from prophecies and modern science alike call us to action, urging a collective commitment to protect and preserve our planet for future generations. As we've explored, the alignment between modern climate science and ancient prophecies is both fascinating and alarming. The current environmental crises are a stark reminder of the need for urgent action and spiritual reflection. Pope Francis, the first Jesuit and the first pope from the Americas, has been a transformative figure within the Catholic Church since his election in 2013. His tenure has been marked by a focus on humility, social justice, and a commitment to addressing global issues such as climate change and economic inequality. However, like many influential figures, Pope Francis has been the subject of various predictions, some of which are quite ominous. One of the most notable sources of these predictions is Nostradamus, the 16th century French astrologer and seer. According to interpretations of his quatrains, Nostradamus suggested a significant crisis within the Catholic Church during the tenure of a pope who fits the description of Francis. Some interpreters believe that this could refer to scandals, schisms, or even the demise of the current pope. While these predictions are speculative and open to interpretation, they capture the anxieties and hopes of many within the Catholic community. Should any of these predictions materialize, the implications for the Catholic Church could be profound. The Church has already faced numerous challenges in recent years, including the handling of sexual abuse scandals, declining membership in certain regions, and the need to modernize its stance on various social issues. A significant crisis involving Pope Francis could exacerbate these challenges, potentially leading to further divisions within the Church. For instance, a major scandal or health crisis involving the Pope could lead to a loss of faith among believers, especially if the Church is perceived as handling the situation poorly. It could also fuel existing factions within the Church, particularly between more conservative elements who may oppose Pope Francis's reforms and those who support his progressive agenda. Additionally, if Pope Francis were to step down or pass away unexpectedly, the process of electing a new pope would be closely scrutinized. The direction chosen by the College of Cardinals could either solidify the reforms initiated by Francis or signify a return to more traditional stances, impacting the Church's global influence and internal cohesion. Nostradamus's writings have long fascinated those who seek to understand the future, despite their often cryptic and ambiguous nature. His quatrains have been interpreted to predict a wide range of events, from natural disasters to political upheavals. When it comes to the Catholic Church and its leadership, Nostradamus's predictions are particularly intriguing due to the institution's historical significance and enduring influence. One of the key challenges in analyzing Nostradamus's predictions is the vagueness of his language. His verses are highly symbolic and can be interpreted in multiple ways, often after events have occurred. This post facto interpretation makes it difficult to use his writings as reliable forecasts. Nonetheless, they continue to captivate those who believe in their prophetic power. In the case of Pope Francis, Nostradamus's quatrains have been linked to several potential crises, including prophecies about the last pope and the fall of Rome. These interpretations often reflect broader concerns about the stability and future of the Catholic Church, mirroring fears and hopes within the religious community. The predictions surrounding Pope Francis and the Catholic Church highlight the intersection of faith, prophecy, and contemporary challenges. While Nostradamus's writings provide a fascinating lens through which to view potential futures, they should be approached with caution and a critical eye. The true impact of Pope Francis's tenure will ultimately be shaped by the actions of the Church and its followers in response to both predicted and unforeseen events. As we look to the future, it is essential to balance the allure of prophecy with practical efforts to address the very real issues facing the Catholic Church and the global community. By doing so, we can honor the spirit of faith and resilience that has sustained the Church through centuries of change and challenge. Throughout this comprehensive exploration of prophecies, predictions, and their correlations with contemporary events, we have delved into a fascinating array of topics. We began by examining current global events and the chaotic state of the world, highlighting the interconnected nature of our modern challenges. We then explored the tensions in the Middle East and how historical context and prophetic predictions intertwine with current developments. Next, we delved into specific prophecies and predictions, starting with Baba Vanga's predictions for 2024 and the Simpsons' uncanny knack for forecasting future events. We analyzed these predictions and considered their broader implications. We also examined biblical prophecies, particularly those in Ezekiel 38 and Jeremiah 49. interpreting their potential implications for the modern world. The discussion then turned to the impact of these prophecies on Christians, highlighting the spiritual implications and the role of suffering in prophecy. We explored the theme of revival in Iran and the spiritual awakening occurring in various parts of the world. This led us to a discussion on climate change and natural disasters, correlating predictions by Nostradamus and biblical prophecies with scientific evidence and future outlooks. We also considered the future of the British monarchy through the lens of Nostradamus's predictions about King Charles III and current health speculations. Finally, we analyzed the papal predictions, focusing on Nostradamus's writings about Pope Francis and their possible implications for the Catholic Church. One of the most striking aspects of this exploration is the universal nature of prophecies. Across different cultures and time periods, humans have been fascinated by the idea of foreseeing the future. Whether through religious texts, visionary seers, or popular media, predictions have always captured the human imagination. This fascination speaks to a deeper need to make sense of the world and our place within it. Prophecies offer a framework for understanding the seemingly chaotic and unpredictable nature of life. They provide a sense of order and purpose, suggesting that there is a greater plan at work, even amidst turmoil and uncertainty. The common themes found in prophecies, natural disasters, social upheaval, and spiritual transformation, reflect the perennial concerns of humanity. They highlight our vulnerability to the forces of nature, the fragility of our social structures, and our ongoing quest for meaning and redemption. While prophecies often rely on symbolic and metaphorical language, their intersection with reality can be remarkably poignant. Nostradamus's quatrains, for instance, have been interpreted to align with numerous historical events and contemporary issues. Similarly, biblical prophecies resonate with current global challenges, from environmental crises to social unrest. The appeal of these prophecies lies not in their literal accuracy, but in their ability to capture the essence of human experience. They reflect our fears, hopes, and aspirations, offering a lens through which we can view the world. By interpreting these ancient texts and visions in the context of modern events, we gain insights into the underlying patterns and dynamics shaping our reality. In contrast to the mystical and symbolic nature of prophecies, science and technology offer a data-driven and empirical approach to understanding the future. Climate change predictions, based on rigorous scientific research, provide a clear and evidence-based outlook on the environmental challenges we face. Advances in technology and innovation offer solutions to mitigate these impacts and build a more sustainable future. The interplay between prophecy and science is fascinating. While prophecies offer a spiritual and moral perspective on future events, science provides the tools and knowledge to address the tangible aspects of these challenges. Together, they offer a holistic approach to navigating the complexities of the modern world. The spiritual implications of prophecies and predictions are profound. They invite us to reflect on our values, beliefs, and actions. In the face of uncertainty and potential upheaval, prophecies encourage us to consider our spiritual and moral foundations. They remind us of the importance of faith, resilience, and compassion. For many, prophecies serve as a call to action, an invitation to engage with the world in a meaningful way. Whether through spiritual practices, community service, or personal growth, prophecies inspire us to seek higher purpose and contribute to the greater good. On a personal level, reflecting on prophecies can be a deeply transformative experience. It encourages introspection and self-awareness, prompting us to evaluate our lives and align our actions with our deepest values. This process of reflection and alignment can lead to profound personal growth and fulfillment. Amidst the dire predictions and potential crises outlined in various prophecies, it is essential to cultivate a sense of hope and resilience. The future, while uncertain, is not predetermined. Human agency and collective action play a crucial role in shaping the outcomes of our world. Hope is a powerful motivator. It inspires us to envision a better future and take proactive steps towards realizing it. In the context of climate change, for example, hope drives innovation, fosters collaboration, and empowers individuals and communities to make a difference. Resilience, on the other hand, equips us to withstand and recover from challenges. It involves developing the capacity to adapt to changing circumstances, overcome adversity, and emerge stronger. Building resilience at both individual and societal levels is essential for navigating the uncertainties of the future. What's your dream or vision? Do you have the character base to support your dream? How fruitful do you want to be? Do you wish to be a tool in the hand of God? Is God speaking to you right now through these words? Then, cling to Christ and beg Him to transform you into His image. Humble yourself, submit your will to His, and see what God will make of your life. Like Joseph, hold on to your integrity and run the other way when sin comes around wanting to play. Genesis 39:12. Cultivate a heart attitude of hatred of sin in your life. Remember that you are created for eternity. Life is not just about what happens in this world. God is preparing you for what's beyond this time, and character is the stuff of eternity, and you should not go without godly character formed in your life. Let God mold and shape you into the likeness of Christ. No matter what trials you must endure, whatever your lot in life, may it be well with your soul.